All right, what's up, everyone? Nick, coming to you from Fortaleza, Brazil. I'm gonna step outside here and show you guys the view real quick. Not a not a bad view, that's for sure. We're right here on the beach. Actually, the rocks you see there, because the beach is eroding. So, if I don't make it to the end of this video, it's because the apartment collapsed from the waves taking the shoreline away. But anyways, I just wanted to jump on and make this quick video because I wrote a post recently that for Marketing Idiots. If you're not an email subscriber, it's going out on the email. It's marketingidiots.co. Yes, that's .co, not .com. But anyways, yeah, I just wanted to make this quick video because for this past week, and I don't know if it's the environment or if it's just right time, right place, and something that I've been working up to, I've been able to get a solid 8 hours of work done a day. And I mean, I'll be sitting at my computer for 12, 13 hours, but out of those, 8 of them are, I can honestly say, are solid hours of work, right? Eight solid hours of work, but I haven't always been able to say that. I remember working at my corporate job and working at my day job and spending a lot of that time browsing the internet and maybe doing what I shouldn't have done, which is working. And I think a lot of people can relate to that when you're working in an office environment. You know, not always, the time that you spend there isn't always spent productively, and there's no real motivation to do that as well. You kind of end up doing what everyone else is doing, and there's nothing to really push you forward unless you're really trying to climb the corporate ladder. But even then, you really don't have to do much to do that. You can kind of get away with just doing the bare minimum. And so when I quit my job and I started working for myself, I took a lot of those bad habits with me. I took a lot of those bad, whoops, I'm gonna die here. I took a lot of those bad work habits with me. And it took me over a year to really realize that what I was doing in my day job or in my corporate job wasn't going to cut it working for myself, and I had to put more work in. And over that time period, I've kind of developed a couple of things. When I sat down to write the email, I kind of started thinking about some things that I did to improve my work productivity and my work habits. I mean, there's a ton of information out there on this subject, and so I'm really just talking from my own perspective and what I've been able to do and what I think has helped me. And so I'm going to give you these 5 quote-unquote tips, if you will, on maybe some things that you could implement to help you out. And the first thing that I found is that focusing on a single task for me really is like building up a muscle. It takes some time. You're not going to be able to sit there and spend 8 hours in front of the computer right off the bat and be able to use all of that time productively. A lot of the times you'll get distracted, but you have to just sort of cut yourself off and notice when you're getting distracted and then bring yourself back on task. And I think that's kind of true for people who have meditated, or if you've tried to meditate, that's kind of what they tell you, that, try to be aware of the moment and be mindful. But if you ever find yourself, thoughts come up, you kind of just cut those thoughts off or cut those trains, cut that thinking off, and then get back to the present moment. And it's very similar with working as well, at least that I've found. So number 2 is taking motivation from outside sources. I think this kind of goes counterproductive to what a lot of people say when it comes to motivation and productivity. They say, if you need motivation from outside sources, you're doing the wrong thing, or you shouldn't need to be motivated by that stuff. You should just have the internal motivation to do it. And to some extent, I believe that's true, right? Like I believe that if it's really, really painful to do what you're doing and you need to take some motivation from outside sources, something might be there that you need to address. But at the same time, there's a lot of stuff that I don't like to do, but I get motivated by outside things to do it, and it's just part of getting stuff done, right? Like whatever it takes, right? So if you got to do it, and you got to watch a video to pump you up, or you got to talk to your friend and see how they're doing and be motivated by their success, then so be it, right? Like at the end of the day, if you get it done, that's all that really matters. So by any means necessary. Also, that kind of leads into the next thing, like, don't judge yourself, right? But you got to also be realistic. All of the times that I was only working 1 or 2 hours and I would sit at my computer, and then by the end of the day I'd look at the clock and realize that I had maybe gotten one thing done, and that thing wasn't even that much to do, right? Deep down I kind of always knew that that wasn't my best, you know? But at the same time, I didn't judge myself about it, and I didn't beat myself up too much about it. But I was realistic, like, look, tomorrow you got to do better. You know, you always got to do better. You got to always strive to do better. But you can't also be too critical, or else you're just not going to you're just going to shut down, or at least most people are. Some people are a little too hard on themselves, and yeah. Number 4 here. So for me, competence equals productivity. A lot of the times that I find myself not being productive is usually because I'm stuck on something, or I don't know what the next step is. And so in these cases, I've kind of come to recognize that and realize, like, look, I need to reach out to someone. I need to take a moment to kind of reevaluate where I am in whatever the task that I'm doing, and try to figure out what the next plan of attack is, or what the next step is. And if I don't know, then I just skip it and move on to something else, right? And then also, so this kind of leads into the 5th point, which is make things as clear as possible. For me, if I have too many things and I got a really long list, I mean, people always say make lists, prioritize them, and I think that's all great. And it works for me to an extent, but at the same time, when I look at a long list, sometimes it's too much for me to handle, and I just have to pick something. So I make it clear, it doesn't really matter what I do. I just got to start, and I just got to pick something, and I got to do it and get it done, right? Even if it's the easiest thing on the list, just starting is the biggest thing. I guess maybe that should be this point. Just start on something. If you got a long list, don't worry about that. Just even if it's the easiest thing, just pick it. Make it clear that you're going to do something, and doing something is always better than doing nothing. So on that note, I'll end this, and I'll just say that I'm by no means perfect, and neither is this video. But hey, I'm going to post this, and I hope you guys leave your comments on how you can be productive. And if you're not signed up for the email newsletter and you're seeing this on YouTube, go to marketingidiots.co, that's .co, not .com, and leave your email address in there, and we're going to send you out an email, usually twice a week. The topics vary, but it is an email, and you're going to get something. So yeah, till next time.